days after the receipt of the notice of the final decision of the board. We have 7 members present, practically a full house. Let me introduce people really quickly. I'm Elizabeth Brown, I'm the chair, and Katie Williams is the vice chair. Kalia Bell, Cedric Campbell, John Hayden is on vacation. Jake Johnson, Hillary Morgan is not here. Barry Robinson, thank you. And Sam Youse. Thank you, Sam. All right, the land use staff, Warren Adams, Nataki Ruggs, Sean Rose, and David Babb. Thank you, David. All right, first item on the agenda, Christina Cadden, 1616 South Perry Street, Garden District. A patio, I guess, a paved area.
Yeah, it's like a paved patio section.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, we want to do a brick patio on the map that you see there. It's approximately 47 by 67, or it is. Essentially, we have weddings and we have our tent there, and the foot track, it just kills the grass. This is about the 4th year we've resodded that area, and it's just not going to stick. So we feel it would work really well with the existing and original brick pathway we have, but we're kind of switching up just slightly by, instead of having the bricks,
on their face.
Yeah, they'll be face down instead of straight up, which was recommended by Sean Rose about having something just slightly different so that it made it not look like it was absolutely original.
Okay.
We're not doing a concrete pad, it'll just be a sand pad. So at any point, if we ever wanted to take those up, we pick the bricks up and lay sod back down.
Okay. Comments from the audience?
Laura Calloway with the Garden District Preservation Association. As long as it's not going to be used for parking, we don't think that there is any reason to object to it.
Anyone else from the audience? Comments from the board?
I guess I do have one question. Are the pavers going to be grouted, or is it going to be a sand bed, or sanded joints?
Sanded joints.
Sanded joints, okay.
Yeah.
So it would be easy to take up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any other comments? May I have a motion?
Move to approve as submitted.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? All right, thank you. And I really want to compliment you all on how beautifully everything is maintained all the time. It really looks nice. Charles Edmondson, 702 Thorn Place.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Evening.
My name is Charles Edmondson. I own the home at 702 Thorn Place in Montgomery. That is in the old Cloverdale district. I bought this house about 23 years ago, and I think I'm the 3rd owner of this house, but when I bought it, it really suffered from deferred maintenance, so I did a lot of restoration and renovation of the home at that time. One of the things that I did on the east elevation of the home, it was a screen porch, which I think was added well after the house was built. My idea was to enlarge the kitchen and to enclose that area to dry it in, so we did that. The contractor that I used 23 years ago used, in my opinion, substandard materials. The windows that he put in are not architecturally compliant with the home itself. They just don't add anything to the house. But in any event, over the last several years, they've started to deteriorate. I've done what I can do to try to preserve them, but they've got to the point now where they're just going to have to be replaced. So what I would like to do on the front of the house facing Thorn Place, which the public will see, I'd like to replace the 2 windows that are there now with the product that I have provided to the board. And I got quotes from Southern Sash about this. They tell me that this product has been approved by the board in the past. You'll see that example of it there. Now this window won't look like that. It will look, I'm told, exactly like the windows on the 2nd floor of my house. that have the same number of side lights, and it will be a double hung window. So those two will replace the ones that you see in the front of the house. On the east side of the house, there are 3 on each side of the door. And when we first did this, our idea is we were going to kind of have like an indoor-outdoor screen porch. But we never even look out those windows anymore. They stay with the curtains open. So when we don't have a lot of wall space either. So what we like to do is just take out the 3 and replace it with just the 1 window on either side of the door, again with the same product that would be on the front of the house. And we'd like to replace the door with a door that has a lot more longevity. This is just a wooden door that's starting to rot. I think it's a fiberglass door. And then on the south side of the house, which doesn't face out, we simply wanted to replace that with a sliding glass door. But if you see the windows that are on the top of the house, and they're also on the east elevation, which have been there since the house was built, my understanding is, and you'll see those in that top left corner, the windows that I'm wanting to replace should look exactly like those.
Are there any comments from the audience about this? You can speak there or down over. Yeah, that would be fine.
I'm Scott Pierce. I'm president of the Cloverdale Association, or mayor as we call it, and we've reviewed this and have no objection.
Okay. Comments from the board?
This is just a note. The 9/9 are being replaced with a 6/6 window, but the size of the opening will be the same?
The window?
Yeah.
These windows have, I'm struggling for what it's called, but it's like a transom at the top.
Oh, okay, yes.
I'm not going to go back with that because it's not compliant with what the architecture of the house is.
Okay.
I want it to look just like what's already in the home. So no, there will not be a transom.
But the width will be the same?
The width will be the same. Yes,
Okay, and you're just kind of taking the transom out and putting
yeah,
wood
the
siding?
siding will enclose
Okay.
that, yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do have a concern that this was a sunroom, and if we take out the 6 windows that are on the east elevation, it's really no longer a sunroom, it's a room.
Well, it wasn't a sunroom when I bought the house.
It was a screened-in porch.
It was a screened-in porch, and by my choice, I made it a sunroom, which we've never really used as a sunroom. But you're correct, it will be more from the east side, from the backyard, it will have less windows, that's correct. But from the front facing Thorn Place, it will look like that, less the
Okay.
transom.
The public facade of the house will look essentially like it has been
Yes,
looking.
ma'am, I understand.
And is this vinyl siding that's on the porch?
That's what was there when I bought the home.
Okay. And it will be there when we all die.
Probably so. If I ever get the money, I'm going to go back with all the wood. but-
All right, all right.
So, Mr. Edmondson, I think you mentioned that the windows that you presented are not the ones that you will be replacing it with, but Southern Sash tells you they will match. I guess I've got
Yes, sir.
concern
I
because,
asked if they could provide me a photograph of it. They said they have to actually fabricate the window, and that I wouldn't get it until they don't have a demonstrative picture of it they can show me. The one that I provided you shows what it will be made out of. But they tell me it will look exactly like the windows on the top of the west side of my house.
Madam Chair, that's just a concern for me.
I'm concerned about it too.
And maybe you and Katie can help me that the window we're looking at is not
No,
what
sir,
we'll
it's
be
not.
getting.
But it'll have the same, I think they're called divided lights.
Yes,
They'll have the exact same amount as what's on the top of my home.
okay.
And the dimensions, they tell me it will look exactly like.
Well, Usually, we do like to see a sample of a window that we haven't approved before. I don't remember approving this, but I haven't been here forever either, so. Have you seen
You
this?
do have the option of approving with a condition that the replacement windows are identical in size and lighting configuration with raised profile muntins, but the applicant would have to understand that if that's what the approval is and something else is installed, then that could create a future issue. But it's entirely up to the
Well, my other concern is that we can call it PVC all we want to, but it's still a plastic window. And we really haven't approved plastic windows very much, but this also sounds like they're making it more like a fiberglass window with an extruded solid frame, so it's not really like the vinyl windows that make me feel faint. It's not trailer windows.
Yeah, it would be a PVC composite is sort of the term that was included in the application. And just for reference, our window maintenance guide that we have indicates that the board has approved PVC in certain cases, which is like typically for like wood rot, where there's water getting in. So those, based on the rot that we see in some of the windows here.
Well, it's not like we're replacing an original window with this window either. We're
Right.
replacing a bad replacement window from before
True.
with this window, so.
I'm trying to make a bad decision that I made 23 years ago better, if I can do that.
Well, you had a lot of other financial obligations when you moved into this house as far as fixing up is concerned. We've all made those decisions sometimes. Are there any other comments on the project? Does someone feel like crafting since John isn't here to craft a beautiful motion, can someone pick up that torch and pass a good motion for us?
So get to start over as many times as John does.
Yes, you get to start over as many times as you want.
Are you gonna do it?
Go ahead, Ms. Bell.
You got it?
I move to approve this project pending all materials used be in compliance with what we have listed as from the second floor of the house. That's what I move to approve.
Well, I think it's what we've got on the second floor of the house is a wooden window. So it's not gonna be a wooden window.
Okay, so with the divided lights being the same, even though there is a different material being used, we will approve it as long as its likeness matches your second floor.
All right.
I don't want anything else but, personally. I'll just share a little story with you. I grew up across the street from this house. My family owned 707 Thorn Place for 55 years. I learned how to ride a bicycle in front of that house. And when my neighbor was elderly and decided that she needed to move to South Carolina with her daughters, they called me and asked me would I please move back to Cloverdale and buy that house. So I have a I'm probably the oldest living resident on Thorn Place today.
Wonderful. I need somebody to second that motion. As jagged as
I take
it may
old
be.
Cloverdale very seriously.
All right, good. May I have a second to Clea's motion?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Opposed? All right, we're counting on you.
Can you all be sure to, maybe we can just do another motion for the doors on the application here as well.
Well, we have this very nice 6-over panel door for the side door replacement. And we have an actual regular sliding glass door to replace a sliding glass door? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
We move to approve and submit it.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you, Sean. All right, you're approved.
May I be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Drew Zimmerman, 353 Cloverdale Road. It's the lights you didn't put up, huh?
Good evening, everybody. I'm Drew Zimmerman.
Good evening.
Property owner of 353 Cloverdale Road. This is my wife, Murray. So we would like to retain the exterior lighting that's on the home. It was installed prior to our moving in. We purchased the home in May of 2020. That's the photo that's on the Zillow posting. So it just clearly shows that it was there before we moved in. I know it looks really bright there, but really the lights, they have a nice soft glow. These are the pictures I provided. They're recessed. The trim on the lighting is the exact same color, white color as the trim on the house. They're not even visible during the day. I don't know what else to say about them, but we would just like to be able to keep them. We also have affidavits from neighbors right next to us, across the street from us. Everybody seems to like it. Nobody really has any grievances about it that we know of. And I don't know if you guys take safety into consideration, but that's been mentioned several times by our neighbors. One of the main reasons we purchased the home as well, just because of the lights and because of all the crepe myrtles on our street. The street lights don't work very well, so it's pretty dark on that street.
And I will say too, whenever we have 2 young children as well, and being at home, if we're by ourselves, having those lights there does make us feel a little bit more secure and safer as well. And we're a very young family that sometimes we're living paycheck to paycheck, so affording to replace the lights is not necessarily an option.
And just let me reassure myself that there's not some sort of electronic control on this that will turn them purple and green at your whim.
No, ma'am.
Because there is a house where this happens.
Red.
And red, yes, 3 colors. This is not the Garden District in New Orleans. All right, may I have a motion on this? Oh, wait, anybody from the audience to comment on these lights? Oh, we have a supporter, I hope.
And Scotts Road, I live next door to them, and I'll vouch that, yeah, it's one color. It's a nice one.
Thank you.
I would not be happy either if it were a lot of colors. And really, it's a personal note about the Zimmermans. They use their yard all the time. Like, it's great having a family there, and we raised our 3 boys next door, and so it's a very unique street, and I've always been very protective of it. But this is something that just really does not concern us, and I've been happy with it.
Thank you. Comments?
Sure, I've got one for Sean. Just curious, I guess someone just notified you of the lights. Did they have a concern, or how did this come about?
Yeah, it came about as essentially a complaint of lighting that had not been approved. When I checked the file, there was not an approval for this change, and so I went ahead and cited it as a violation. Then the owner contacted me, and when he explained, like, hey, we didn't actually put these in, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's something to note, that it was a prior owner who had installed it.
All right, thank you.
One other question. Do we have to worry about approving these types of lights going forward? Will there be something in writing regarding adding lighting of this nature? Or will we just have to do it time by time, episode by episode?
Applications are certainly case by case. We do have in a forthcoming a new set of design guidelines that will discuss outdoor lighting more than our current guidelines do. So that is something that is forthcoming as far as guidelines for how to deal with it. Our existing guidelines, don't really mention it very much. There might be one sort of in passing mention of outdoor lighting. So it'll be a little bit more detailed once we can get those draft guidelines adopted. I guess those are my comments on outdoor lighting, that we do have more guidance coming soon.
Okay, thank you.
Well, this is certainly less obtrusive than the ubiquitous floodlights in a utilitarian fixture on the corners, one of which is always burned out. So I think it's an improvement, frankly.
Given that statement, move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I know this is a nuisance, but I appreciate I just hadn't noticed them, so it's nice to have this brought to my attention. All right. Oh, why did I move my sheet? Vincent Ledlow, 832 Cloverdale Road. Oh, you need to come already. Good for
Thank
you.
you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Vincent Ledlow, and along with my wife Elizabeth, we're the applicants today. I kind of feel like a chicken among peacocks because I'm trying to talk architecture and building to people who do it for a living. So y'all forgive me. I'll also go ahead and apologize for the what I call decidedly unprofessional drawing or plat drawing of the building that I submitted. My wife would be ashamed to be associated with that. So, she has no contact with it. That's not any of her baby. We bought the house on Cloverdale Road in 2012. The events of life took us out of state for quite some time, and we were able to return home in May of last year. And so we're back, and we're really trying to do a lot of work on the house. We've replaced a ton of rotten wood and things like that. As testament, I'm not a great auto mechanic, but in testament that I'm an even worse driver than I am an auto mechanic. When I was working on a 74 F100 pickup that I have, it got away from me and rolled down the driveway and rolled into the former 20 by 20 garage that was sitting there, and so I knocked out that junk. I deserved the laugh, and my wife was wonderful to me, and she didn't give me too much smack about it. But it was kind of at that point that that I took siding off to see what I had done wrong and what I could do to fix it. And unfortunately, time and termites had done more wrong than I had done. If you look at the building, you're facing it. On the extreme left side, that part of the building was like propped up on dirt. So every time it rained, water washed mud through the center garage section and the rest of the thing. And so it probably wasn't the greatest situation for it to live. And the hip roof structure, the sill plate is gone on the west side, which you can see in the bottom photo there, most of the back. And it did a great lean. The front went this way. No, the front went, this way, and the back went opposite. I'm sorry. Front went this way and the back went this way, and so it was coming down on me. I'm embarrassed to confess my ignorance. First of all, we love Old Cloverdale. That's why we wanted to return here, because the neighborhood has character. No two houses are alike. We like sit on the front porch and have community with the folks. But it didn't strike me that I needed to get permission for that, and I feel terrible about it. My heart is pure, and I think that's kind of illustrated by the fact that I'm trying to put back up the exact same thing that Billy, my F100, took down. Except I want to go 5 feet wider toward the middle of my backyard and 5 feet deeper away from the street. You can see and I was thankful, the windows that we're putting up, so the kitchen of our house has 6 lights over 1. The rest of the house is 9 lights over 1, but it does have a permanent wooden grate in it. Now it's a fake. It's fake. That's one piece of glass on the top, double glass, but it has the right stuff to the permanently affixed wooden grid, I think is what it's called. I think that's an SPD, simulated whatever. We're replacing doors. The doors are paneled below with 1 light above. Now wooden doors. There's no metal going to be no steel doors. It gives a little light on the inside. They'll be painted like the color scheme on the house, which is up above. And if you look to the left there, you can see the garage sits 70 feet off the road toward the back. The old structure was a 6 common roof pitch. The new one's a 6 common roof pitch. It's a hip roof structure. the new one is a hip roof structure. We've got exposed rafter tails like are on the house. The exposed rafter tails are on the building, same length coming out. In so many ways, it's identical, but a little bigger. And a lot of people also are going to be glad that I can stick that doggone truck back there. And they don't have to look out on the street. Thank you for putting that up. So I think that's maybe the best illustration. The new building features. I did a track changes, and you see what the differences are in the two.
The font in black is the old structure, and so the new is just overlaid, and the red details the difference.
Yeah, so it was a 20 by 20 building. It's going to be a 25 by 25. Both were hip roof with a 612 pitch, both covered in brown architectural shingles, both 36-inch entry doors on both sides of the front, an 8 by 7 garage door, 36 entry door on the southwest corner, which was there before, 6/1 double hung. Somebody had beautifully manufactured a plexiglass paned swing out window on the southeast corner, and I'm putting a 6/1 there because it looks better than plexiglass. The rafter tails exposed. The original building was sided with wood siding with a particular profile, and I took a picture of that. You can buy that. I was thankful you can buy that.
Novelty siding or drop siding? You
It's
called it wood slat siding. I'm just telling you, you could call it drop siding, and people would think you were erudite.
Okay.
Or novelty siding. It comes in the way it goes up. It comes in a lot of different profiles, but I think that's very good.
See, and thank you for the terminology, because I like to say chicken and peacocks here. And we're going to paint it just like the house. Well, I didn't know about the palette, and so we got y'all's palette and painted the house the right colors off the palette, and we just want it to match. Confession though, the garage fell down. I started building the new one, and Sean came by, and we actually talked on the Ring doorbell cam. He said, "Oh, we got to stop." I said, "Okay, geez, I didn't know." So we stopped, tried to get our stuff in, and we're here pat in hand with y'all. And if there's something y'all don't like, let me know. We want to get this right. Y'all are the guardians of really a lot of the value of my house. Thank you. And we want to make sure that we continue that and do what y'all need us to do.
Now, you're working at a slight disadvantage because last meeting, we had a woman who could be on the Late Show in her. Now, you have been very entertaining, but you did not quite reach the level of the person that we had last month.
I'm not reaching that level because she's here.
Would that she had been here last week, last month.
I'll be playing all week. Please tip your wait staff.
I'm sorry to hear that your car, but
Truck.
really, I don't know why we're holding you responsible for this, because you did not demolish the building.
Billy,
the
the
truck
did. Yes, ma'am.
demolished the building. And termites. So, is there anyone in the audience that wants to comment on this project?
I brought a couple, or they came.
Hey, I'm Joseph Curtis. I'm a neighbor of the Ledlows, and I just wanted to say they seem to be trying to do it as good as they can to how it was before, and we're in support of it.
All right, good.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Robert E. Stewart, and my wife and I are the immediate neighbor to the west of the property in question. I endorse 100% the application that Mr. Ledlow and his wife have applied for. It will be a great addition to the view, and really I think the neighbor that just spoke and I are probably the only ones that are aware that this property is there, and we are looking forward to the great improved view that we will have from our property. Thank you.
Thank you.
OCA has no problem with the project, and I wanted to say, just from a personal standpoint, I have relatives who lived there starting in the 1920s, and happy to see that y'all are doing the project.
Talk to you.
Okay.
There's a story going around that when he was stationed at Maxwell, that President George W. Bush rented that house, this house, and lived in it. So we affectionately refer to it, and I know this will sit well with everybody's political sensibilities, as I call it Republican Hill. That's what my grandfather called his house when I was a little boy. So I just picked that name up. So it's interesting.
Are there any comments from the board on this project?
It's more of a housekeeping thing, that it looks like it was on, is it on like the property line?
So and that's on Joe Curtis's side, it's about, I think, 4 feet off, but we have a board of adjustment.
Okay.
Before y'all that I want to come see about in August. So I'm booked for return engagement.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did want to note, this came to my attention from Tanya Ingram in our office. There's a map that depicts the garage essentially on the eastern property boundary. It's supposed to be at least 5 feet off for zoning, so we have a variance application. It didn't come in time for the legal notice. So we'll be back next month for the variance for this garage. And then we also there's another application coming as well for fencing. So we'll discuss that next month.
Okay.
And for the record, it sits exactly on the footprint of the old one, and I realize that time has changed, but the eastern line is exactly where the new one sits. But
No, I don't have an issue with that. I just want to make sure that all the hoops are jumped through.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
For your benefit.
Thank you, ma'am.
If there are no comments from the board, may I have a motion?
Move to approve is submitted.
Second.
All in favor? All right. Thank you. We look forward to the return appearance.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure working with Sean Rose and all y'all. I want you to know I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I get who did that first motion, please?
That's me.
Thank you, Jay.
All right. April Hampton, 1920 Madison Avenue.
Hello. I'm here on behalf of family friend who they live in South Africa, but this is the home they live in when they come visit family. So basically, in the rear yard, they want a deck.
Okay.
They're an older couple, like 70s, 80s, and you see they have a steep, the picture before showed the stairs that came off that back door, but maybe it's blocked out. Right there, it's just a really steep set of stairs. So they want to take that window that's closest to the corner, make that a full light, 15 divided light door.
Okay.
And come off, because their dining kitchen is right off there.
Is there anyone from the audience to speak to this project? April, I have a question about this deck skirting.
Yes.
Is it drop siding or clapboard, or is it boards that are spaced with a space in
It's
between?
going to be, actually, they said they're open to recommendations. They have a basement entrance. They want to match the profile of the lab.
Okay.
So either through panel or whatever the contractor kind of deems will give them that.
You need to make sure that you get some ventilation in that, either put foundation vents, or if it's not sitting directly on the ground and you have, 6 inches, because that'll create a really damp space and it will attract.
Yeah, I actually did tell them that they need to have some ventilation under there, because I think their crawl space has been closed up too, so.
The fellow on the corner of Felder and Hall Street discovered that to his peril last year, so we don't want to let that get
And what's interesting is the city is asking people when they do renovations to close up the crawl spaces, and it's not appropriate.
Well, I guess I don't want them sitting around on piers, but you can certainly, you do need to calculate your ventilation needs.
Yes,
if you're going to
absolutely.
close up not just put something up solid.
Yeah.
Or you would be rotten pretty soon.
Absolutely.
Any other comments? May I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second. All in favor? All right.
See, April, we're on the same page this time.
That was too easy.
All right, tell us what you're gonna do at 1208 South Florence Street.
So me and Sean got together. The initial proposal was to, you see the driveway goes all the way back to the back of the house to a carriage. I don't know what it used to be, but that's what it looks like now. So my idea, when we looked underground, we can see some areas where there's pavement with grass grown over it, is to just make it a gravel, nice parking pad bordered with brick. I thought it could be used as parking, but when me and my husband actually drove our trucks back there, the gas line, the actual driveway, once you get to the house itself, is actually too narrow to open your doors. And so we're gonna actually apply to actually put a fence so no one can drive beyond the house because they could hit the gas line. I think you can see it in that road there in the back with the ribbons. The driveway is less than 9 feet wide. And so when we drove our truck back there to drop off patio furniture, you really won't be able to use that space for parking. So we still want to do the pad as a patio, basically.
So this would be parking for a Hyundai, but not for an F-10 pickup truck.
Exactly, not for F-150.
For your car. For your car.
My car.
Yeah.
My car.
So we still want to go ahead with a nice pad, because otherwise the backyard is just useless. Because there's a nice little barbecue in that back corner. It's kind of overgrown if you look in the upper picture.
It would be my opinion that it's going to take more than one brick to keep that gravel in.
Yeah, usually my guy does like a deep metal edging band, and then he sets them.
All right. Any other comments from the board or from the audience?
And we do plan on softening it with landscaping. We're going to get together with the urban forester too.
Laura Calloway, Garden District Preservation Association. We were a little concerned about the initial 20 by 40 or 30 by 40 size, but if it's going to be sized down like the recommendation from the staff, then we don't have an objection to that.
I will, though, next month make a motion to see, we have like on the front side of the house, we would like to address parking on the other side of the house.
Now you pushing.
At that point.
Maybe I can arrange to
Now
do a
you're pushing it.
Well, if you look at that corner, we're gonna approve, because we can now only use like half of the original driveway. So, and we are gonna be keeping this house.
Okay.
So you mentioned putting the gate up. Is that?
Yeah, me and Sean, we were just talking about the idea that you can't trust how people are gonna drive, and there is that gas line right, I can't, like alongside the ribbon next to the house. If you drive deep enough, you're gonna run into it. But what we run into is we actually don't want anyone driving on the side of the house at all. Because unless you have a really small car, it's only about 8.5 feet there. So you can't open, there's a retaining wall you can't open the door.
So my concern is, I didn't see the gate. Is that part of this request?
No, that's something we talked about in a few, this is just something, Sean was at the property last week and something we caught, and we just said we would just kind of talk about it here at this meeting with the idea that I'll actually formalize a plan.
Yeah, and there is, some of the conversation was after the agenda had gone out, but if you look at the top of this picture on figure 6C, there is a gate at the back side of the driveway. I think it's a chain link gate. So what I was mentioning was trying to move the gate up forward in order to block the driveway, basically, so that nobody can drive back there. That was just a suggestion that I had because there is a gas line. It's hard to see in this picture, and if April comes back, I'll go ahead and take a better photo so you all can see. But there's a gas line basically right on the edge, on the left concrete paver there, or concrete runner, and that would be a little sketchy. Trying to open a door.
I would make sure that it's that you do have a gate, because I don't, and getting the new air conditioner unit usually involves negotiations with your neighbor about taking down their fence in order to get to the backyard. It's not a happy thing.
Yeah, and fortunately this house has proposal for where the new parking pad will be, it actually is on the side, and there's a gate there to get to the access for the HVAC for that purpose.
So, Mike, can you turn to 6B for me? B as in boy. Mr. Urban Forester, tell me what I'm going to be approving on this landscape plan.
I'm sorry?
Tell me what I'm going to approve on this landscape plan if I tell her to work with you.
Well, with the limited space, I would say we probably plant maybe 2 understory trees next to the barbecue pit. But I would have to go out there with you and have a better site assessment on it. But like I said, we are very limited to what we can plant. I wouldn't plant anything bigger than 40 or 50 feet in that area. So yeah, I'm willing to work with her and have something that everybody would like.
Okay.
And there is quite a canopy back there, so.
Well, you've put some pretty pictures in here that it's showing that it really could look terrific. I hope that we can make it look like that.
Yeah, that's the plan.
All right. Any more comments?
Madam Chair, just to note on if you all are headed toward a motion, I just want to note the sizing aspect. What was asked for, I believe was 30 by 40. It's on the proposal page. Yeah, 30 by 40. Christy left a note for me, that typically in the past they've been limited to 20 by 20 for parking pads. This, now is sort of more of a patio. But I think the sizing, is a concern. So I'd just be mindful to address that in any motion that you all do.
Okay, what size are we talking about?
So me and Sean, we went back there. The garage that's been roofed is actually in a lot better shape than it is. It's been a studio. There's electrical and all of that in there. But the windows are really low to the ground. And so there is currently moisture issues that we're addressing from the inside. So we're actually, what I threw out to him, there is currently moisture issues that we're addressing from the inside. So we're actually, what I threw out to him was the idea that perhaps we should not bring landscaping that close to that structure for that reason. That with hardscape and maybe potted plants in that area to bring green space. And plus there's that retaining wall that's on the neighbor's yard that's full of green stuff. And so my goal is to soften the rounded edge. But we do need to create some drainage alongside for the front entryway. And you can see how low-lying those windows are.
Yes. All right, size of the patio is going to be what's the dimensions of this?
So that is roughly 20 by 40 from where, and mind you, where those ribbons are, they extend into the backyard quite a bit. Portions of it is buried
I could see
under
them
grass.
in some of the pictures, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Have we gotten a definitive answer on the size of the gravel?
So I can reduce it, I think in width to 12 feet, but it still needs to be that 40-foot length, because, that's the doorway there, and you still need a path to actually get to.
Right.
So 12 by 40.
Okay. All right. May I have a motion then?
I move to approve with the amendment of the size being 12 by 40.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? All right.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
There we go.
We look forward to the next meeting. All right, the minutes were mailed out, and what an organized thing they are. Thank you. It's very easy to review. Did anybody have any additions or corrections to the minutes? Do they stand approved as mailed? Is there anything else we need to discuss? Warren?
Just to bring your attention to the violations at the start of the agenda, this was the first time I really noticed a large improvement in the number of outstanding violations that we have at the moment. if you actually look through the grid, virtually all of them have been addressed or resolved. So I really think that the work that Sean's been doing in the districts, working with the residents and actually citing these violations, I think we're starting to see the benefit of it now. Now, hopefully we won't come back next week and there's like 4 times the amount on there. But certainly this month, it's the first time I've really noticed a significant improvement in or an improvement in a resolution of the outstanding violations. So I think that's worthy of note.
Yes. If there's nothing else, we're adjourned.